Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is WireDogSec back with another video for you guys. Today's video is TryHackMe. This is the Advent of Cyber 2024 event, and this is task number 23, log analysis, day 17. He analyzed and analyzed till his analyzer was sore. Hopefully, you're all having an awesome day today and tagging along in this adventure with me. Let's go ahead and dive into it and see what they're talking about. The story. An attack now, it seems, on the town's CCTV. There's a problem with the logs, but what could it be? An idea put forward of a log format switch. Not as expected, the idea of the glitch. Backstory or background story. Marta Mayware is going crazy. Someone has disconnected the main server from the Wearable network, and nobody knows who it is. As soon as she realized it, she contacted Wearable's top physical security company, WireSec and Aware, to let her view the data center's CCTV streams. They forbade it entirely for privacy reasons. Only the camera owner can view the recordings. Not even the WireSec and Aware employees themselves are allowed to do so. Still, they said there was no recording of anybody entering the data center yesterday. How could that be? Wondering Marta May. Desperate for answers, their first um, supposition was that the owner of the cameras must have deleted the recordings from their managing webpage, but the data center's camera owner surely can't be the perpetrator. It is no other than Byte, Glitch's dog. Glitch insisted with Marta to leave the ownership of the cameras to Byte precisely to avoid these kinds of happenings. Byte, the ultimate good boy, combines loyalty and sharp instincts to keep any place safe. Marta May calls Glitch and McSkitty right away, explaining the situation in between the sobs. Glitch's eyes darken. Someone is trying to frame Byte, and he will not let anybody vex his beautiful dog. McSkitty is perplexed. Why are the people at WireSec and Aware supposing that Byte had deleted the recordings? Shouldn't they have some logs to prove such an accusation? Martyr May has the answer. They do have some log files that they back up every 6 hours, give or take, but they can't search through it. Or rather, they tried, but when they go and search for some keyword like data centers, cameras, IDs, or the action, delete, this is what they get. So they get here, try to cat the logs here, grep dash I 11, watch cameras, bytes 11, etc., etc., etc. Looking for download in this one here, and it's like looks like it's encoded or something. Unreadable. McSkitty shakes her head. They must immediately send the log file to SOC team. Armed with the SIM, no log is unsearchable. Learning objectives. In this task, we will explore the following learning objectives while investigating the logs related to the incident scenario explained above. Learn how to extract custom fields in Splunk. Learn to create a parser from the custom logs. Filter and narrow down the search results using search processing language SPL. How to investigate in Splunk. Connected to the machine, and this is what you need for today. You need the VM, and it says, is there a direct link available? Correct. All right. So let's go down here. I've already started it up. As you can see, the link is ready to go. So I'm going to click on it and fire it up. Get it ready to go for our task here. Splunk Enterprise, it's loading up. Let's flip back over real quick. Investigation time. It's time to fire up Splunk, where the data has been pre-ingested for us to investigate the incident. Once the lab is connected, open up the link in the browser and click on Search and Reporting on the left. So as soon as that finishes loading up, but this is what it's going to look like here, Search and Reporting. And it says on the next page, type index equals star or asterisk in the search bar to show all ingested logs. Note that we will need to select all time as the time frame from the drop down on the right of the search bar. Okay, so there it is in search, index equals star, and then there's the drop down here, the last 24 hours. It's set to right now, but when you click that, it's going to go to all time. So let's go ahead and do that here. So search and reporting. All right, let's take a look. Now we need to type in index equals star, like so. And then we're going to go to the right side here and change this to all time. And let's let that load up. Okay. After running the query, we will be presented with two separate data sets pre-ingested to Splunk. We can verify this by clicking on the source type field in the fields list on the left of the page. All right, let's talk about this here, source type. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Once you subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell. All right, so you know every time I post a new video. As you can see here, most people that view my videos, view my channel, are not subscribed. Now, if you do subscribe, it will help me get into the YouTube algorithm so that we can continue to grow our glorious community here. As always, thank you all for taking the time to watch. Have a nice day and enjoy the video. The two datasets are as follows. Web logs. This file contains events related to web connections to and from the CCTV web server. CCTV logs. This file contains information about the CCTV applications access logs. Let's explore the logs and investigate the attack on our CCTV servers to identify the culprit who got unauthorized access to the server and deleted the CCTV streams. Examining the CCTV logs. Let's start our investigation by examining the CCTV logs. To do so, we can either click on the corresponding value for a source type field or type the following query in the search bar, index equals this here. So I'm just going to copy and paste this over, but you can click on it as I said here. So if you go over to the side here, and you go to source type, you see it right there, CCTV logs. So if you want to do that, but it automatically will go through and search everything. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so we have that ready to go. Understanding the problem. After examining the logs, we can figure out the following main issues. Logs are not parsed properly by Splunk. Splunk does not consider the actual timeline of the event. Instead, it uses it only uses the ingestion time. Fixing the problem. Before analyzing and investigating the logs, we must extract the relevant fields from them and adjust the timestamp. The provided logs were generated from a custom log source, so Splunk could not parse the fields properly. Extract new field. Click on the Extract New Fields option located below the fields list on the left page. So it's going to be like this here. All right, and you can see what they're talking about here. It's all looks all jacked up and stuff because it didn't parse correctly. So extract new fields. Okay, that's loading up here. And it says select sample event. We will be presented with event logs that must be parsed properly. Though we can select any log, but in order to follow the steps mentioned below and avoid confusion, let's select the very first sample event and click on the green Next button at the top of the page. Okay, so this is what they're talking about here, 1 and then 2. So let's go back over here. Okay, let's click that and then Next. Okay, select method. There are two options for extracting the fields. Using regular expressions and using delimiters. In this exercise, we will extract fields using regular expressions. Select this option and then click on the green Next button at the top of the page, regular expression, Next, okay, and select fields. Now to select the fields and the logs that we want to extract, we simply need to highlight them in the sample log. Splunk will auto-generate the regex regular expression to extract the selected fields, okay. So we need to highlight this. They're highlighting everything. Let's see. Yes, okay. And this is what they're looking for here. We'll assign an appropriate name to each of the extracted fields based on the table below. Okay, so we need timestamp for the first one here. So let's go ahead and copy and paste. Okay, add extraction. Let's log out. Would that be action? Okay, event. Then user ID. Event. User ID and username. So if user ID like that. Correct. Yep. All lowercase I. Okay, so user ID, and then it was, gosh, I keep forgetting, username and session ID. Okay, username, session ID. That's the last one. There we go. Add extraction. Okay, so now we should be good to go. As evident from the previous section, by selecting the field, Splunk creates a regular expression to extract that field from all the events. All the extracted fields will be displayed in the preview tab as shown below. So we see that here, okay? And we saw that on our screen as well, right? So there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on here. Well, theirs is a bit different here, right? So they have the actual username in there. Well, I wonder why I didn't select that one, but whatever. Let's see here. Save and analyze. Make sure I didn't skip anything. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, says it is important to note that some of the logs may have a different format and they may not be parsed. Using the parser we created above, we may have to re-extract the fields from those events. We will get back to fixing this issue later. We can click on each extracted field to check the extracted values. When we're satisfied with the extracted values, we can click the green next button at the top of the page. So let's do that. Now we need to validate. Validate. In the next step, we will see a green tick mark next to sample logs to indicate the correct extraction of the fields, or a red cross sign to signal an incorrect pattern as shown. And we just saw that. Save and analyze. After validating the extracted fields are correct, the next step is saving and analyzing the logs. So let's go ahead and do that here. Everything's good. Okay. And should be it. This tab shows us the regular expression created, the fields extracted in the sample event that contains the fields we wanted to extract. Let's save the session by clicking on the green finish button at the top of the page and move on to the search tab to search the logs. To do so, we can click on explore the fields I just created in search link on the next page. So let's go ahead and do that here. And you can see everything that they were talking about here. Fields, regular expression stuff down there. All right, so let's click finish and click this here. So that's loading up. See what it does. And there's nothing in here. Let's see. They got results. We can verify that we successfully extracted the custom fields from the logs by clicking on any of our custom fields in the list on the left pane. For example, if we click on username field, we will be presented with all the different values that have been extracted from the logs in this field. Okay, well, this didn't load all the way, so that's why. So we need to change this back to all time. Now I should pull up some stuff. There we go. All right, and you can see user ID stuff over here. Now you can see selected fields, username, see everything in here. Okay, good to go. And it says it also appears that some fields have not been parsed exactly as we expected. So session ID is jacked up, I guess. Improving the field extraction. As previously mentioned, some of the logs are a bit different from the ones we used as a baseline for the field extraction. Some of the log formats that our parser could not pick are mentioned below. So sample log can get this here. Okay. There's the password apparently. And it says failed. It is important to note that there can be various ways to achieving our goal or fixing the parser. We will try, I guess, one of the methods as covered in the steps below, removing the fields extraction. Let's go to settings and the fields as shown below. So settings should appear, and then fields, okay. Okay, and then it says field extraction. Click on the field extraction tab. It will display all the fields extracted. Field extractions, there we go. Flip back over. Delete the regex pattern. This tab will display all the patterns slash fields extracted so far in Splunk. We can look for the CCTV related pattern in the list or simply search CCTV in the search bar and it will display our recently created pattern. Once the right pattern is selected, click on the delete button as shown. So let's go ahead and do that here. And you can either type it in up here, I guess, and or you can go down here and take a look here. So this looks like the one we created here. Admin, yep. Okay. And all right, okay. Yeah. So this is the one we need to delete. All right, but we'll just follow along here. CCTV. Okay. There it is. There's the delete option here. So we'll hit that. Deleted. Okay. It says why we are deleting this previously created pattern. Well, this regex picks fields from some logs and leaves behind other logs, which may be vital for our investigation. Our goal is to create one generic regular expression that works on almost all events. Open field extractor. Next, click on Open Field Extractor button, and it will take us to the same tab where we can extract fields again. Okay, field extractor there. All right. Updating the regex. Says this time after selecting the right source type as CCTV logs and time range as all time, click on I prefer to write the regular expression myself. All right, so we need to go and change the stuff in here again. Select source type, CCTV logs. Okay, time range to all time. All right, I think that looks good. Okay, and we need to click on I prefer to write it myself. Okay. In the next tab, enter the regex like this. I'm going to copy and paste, and then select preview. So we should get something like this. Paste it in there. Preview. There we go. The regex will fix the field parsing pattern and extract all needed fields from the logs. Hit save, and on the next page, select finish. Okay, save, finish, done. On the next page, once again, click on explore the fields I just created in search. Let's do that here. Okay, and we have to change this again to all time. There we go. Now that we can observe that all fields are being extracted as we wanted, let's start investigating the logs. Investigating the CCTV footage logs. Now that we have sanitized and properly parsed the logs, it's time to examine them and find the culprit. Summary of the CCTV feed. After examining the CCTV feed logs, we can create a mental picture of the information these logs provide us. A brief summary of these logs is these logs contain the successful and failed login attempts from various users. They contain a few failed login attempts which look suspicious. They contain information about the CCTV footage being watched and downloaded, event count by each user. Let's use the following search query to search or to see the count of events by each user. So NS equals CCTV. They're piping that into stats count events by username. We can easily visualize this data by first clicking visualization below the search bar, then change the visualization type from bar to pie chart. So let's go ahead and try this here. All right, click OK. Visualization, and then it says bar. Let's flip over to pi. So there we go. Okay. Summary of the event count. We can create a summary of the event count to see what activities were captured in the logs using the following query. Okay. So this time they're piping the CCTV feed into stats count by events. Right. Yeah. So Splunk will automatically display the previously selected pie chart type of visualization. So let's go ahead and do that here. Enter. Okay. There we go. Examining rare events. Says using the following search query, let's look at the events with fewer occurrences in the event field to see if we can find something interesting. All right. Okay, let's take a look here. There's one there. Delete recording. You can also see information down here too. So if you prefer to look at it in like this table format. All right, let's take a look at what they're saying here. It looks like we have a few attempts to delete the recording and a few failed login attempts. This means we have a clue. Let's examine the failed login attempts first by using this here. Okay, it looks like they went back to the statistics area for this one. So we'll do the same here. Okay, and there's a bunch of them by byte. Marta, glitch. All right, so let's take a look. We found some failed login attempts against 4 users, but one thing remains constant, the session ID. Narrowing down our investigation, let's narrow down our results to see what other events are associated with this session ID. Okay, we're going to do that with this here. And okay, so we're going to need to replace this with the actual session ID. So let's go ahead and do that here. And let's copy the session ID. Okay, I think this should be it here. There we go. Okay. Okay, they just left the stars in there apparently. Let me do that as well. I'm not sure if it makes it different or not, but we're following along here. Okay, there we go. And that should be it. We get the same information as they get here. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how many events related to the deletion of the CCTV footage were captured. So we're looking for delete, anything with delete in it. All right. We go here. Now you can also just do like duplicate tabs, okay? You can just duplicate your tab here, or you can go in and open up a new tab like this. All right, it makes things a lot easier instead of having to flip back and forth in case you need to reference something. But yeah, so let's continue on. So we got done with the delete information here, 2 events. Good. We have some comprehensive information about the attacker and his notorious activities correlating with the web logs. Let's use the information extracted from the earlier investigation and correlate it with the web logs. So this time we're looking at web logs and then the session ID. It looks like suspicious IP addresses. During the examination, it is observed that only one IP address, 10.11.105.33, is associated with the suspicious session ID. Identify the footprint associated with the session ID. So let's go ahead and do that here. And we're going to take a look. All right, and we can see this information here. Also on the side here, you can take a look at these fields, see if you find anything interesting here. There's the IP. Okay, let's flip back over. Let's narrow down the search to show results associated with the IP address found earlier. It is also important to note that in this case, the details about the session ID are found in the field status. Okay, and that's what we're talking about this here. It looks like 2 more session IDs were associated with the IP address found earlier. Let's create a search to observe what kind of activities were captured associated with the IP and the session IDs. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and we can also just click on this here to add it. So if we wanted to just take this stuff out, just search on the client IP, and you can see different information inside of here. This is what we're talking about here, status. You can see different information in these values. Let's go ahead and paste this information up here and hit enter. There we go. All right, a lot of information here. Says looking closely, we can see log out events when the session ID was changed. Can we correlate these session IDs in the CCTV feeds logs and see if we can find any evidence connecting the dots? Let's go back to CCTV feed and use the session IDs associated with the IP address shown below. Okay, so we're going to copy and paste. Should get something like this. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, it looks like Mayor Malware was back in here messing around with stuff again. Malware. Great, we were able to locate the username associated with the attack. Now that we have identified the user, let's summarize our investigation. From the output, it seems the following was the timeline of the attack. Attacker brute force attempt on various accounts. There was a successful login after the failed attempts. Attacker watched some of the camera streams. Multiple camera streams were downloaded, followed by the deletion of the CCTV footage. The web logs had an IP address associated with the attacker's session ID. We found 2 other session IDs associated with the IP address. We correlated back the CCTV feed logs, to find the traces of any events revolving around those session IDs and found the name of the attacker. Okay, now hopefully you all paid attention because we're about to answer some questions. So go ahead and try to answer these questions yourself. Come back to the video and we will step through them. Let's take a look at these questions. Extract all the events from the CCTV feed logs. How many logs were captured associated with the successful login? All right, so if navigate back over Splunk, we can just change this to successful with 2 stars. Okay, hit OK or search here. 642 events is what we're looking for here. So that should be the answer, 642. And next one says, what is the session ID associated with the attacker who deleted the recording? Same thing here, except we can change this to delete and figure that out. I know we saw this earlier. There we go. And this is the session ID that we're looking for here. If it lets me grab it. Whatever. Let's just do it this way. We'll grab it like this. Okay. It says, what is the name of the attacker found in the logs who deleted the CCTV footage? Well, we saw that earlier. And to reference it again, we can go back to this search here where we saw the other session ID in question, right? Remember, there's different ones in there, and we looked at this one, and malware is what we were looking for. So that's the user ID in question. All right, so let's flip back over, plug this in there. There we go. It says check out the Splunk data manipulation room to learn more about parsing and manipulating data in Splunk. So check that out if you're interested in learning more about Splunk. Good thing we had a backup of the CCTV application from yesterday. We got it running again in no time. All right, hopefully you all enjoyed this video, enjoyed this particular task, enjoying this event as a whole. If you are liking the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell if you're new here. Comment below on your thoughts and opinions on the information shared in the video. As always, thank you all for taking time to watch my video. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next one.